We're going to get ready to start the open mic here. People are still filing in. So, how many of you know what an open mic is?
I do.
Don't raise your hands, I can't see you at all. Just
Technically raise the foot, thank you.
raise the foot. Okay, raise the paw, yeah.
Raise the voice.
So, here's how this is going to work. We have a lot of people that want to get up on this stage. So the rule is going to be, if you want to get up on stage, then raise your hand, and I will get somebody from the audience that will call on you that actually has vision, that can see you. And then you'll come up. You can take as little time as you want. If you just have a joke, if you want to tell, a joke or a short story, something like that, go for it. This is a comedy panel. We're all here to have fun. We're all here to enjoy it. So everybody's going to get roughly 5 minutes. We'll give that. We may cut them a little shorter if we have a lot of people that want to get up, because we want to get as many people up here as possible. And we're at a Canadian con, so we're already running like 5 minutes behind schedule, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is just run through a quick little run-through of a few ground rules that we try and keep for these open mics when Alkali, myself, and other people run them. Guys, remember to have fun. If you mess up, it's alright. We're furries. We love you. You're fine. It's okay. The point is to have fun. That being said, try not, and I can't emphasize this enough, let's try to stay away from shock humor. Even seasoned comedians like Alkali do not use shock humor, and it just doesn't come across very well 90% of the time. So, that being said, guys, who's ready for open mic?
Me! Pick me! I want a comedy.
I'm actually anxious to see what you do. Do you want to come up here, Shadow, and give your hand at it?
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shadow!
I'm going to pull it off this. I like to go up around when I do stuff. I am a cat, I just can't stay still. Hopefully it doesn't make noise when I put them together. That's good. Well, hi everybody. I'm Empty Shadow, and I'm a pretty kitty. Yay. That's where you applaud. So, there we go. Applause. Thank you. Applause, something like that. Anyway, guys, I want to let you all know that comedy is hard. It really is. You guys are like trying not to laugh right now. You're like, this is a game, and I'm going to try not to laugh. Let's not play that game. Let's practice. All right? So I want everybody to laugh. Doesn't that feel good? Maybe the comedy is not that hard after all. Everybody laugh again. Hey, I'm good at this. Who thought it was a good idea to give me a microphone? You said I had 50 minutes, right? 5 minutes. How long is that in cat years?
4 and counting.
I know, I'm kind of crazy. I blend in with the stage too. I'll just disappear, you won't realize it. I got my Timmy's cup. Do you guys know what Timmy's is?
Coffee.
It's Canadian coffee.
Diabetes.
In America, it may be. You don't want to know what's in my Timmy's cup. It's Canadian candy! Those are real Canadian candies. That's a safe zone over there. I'll pick that up later. Well, I do hope I got all you guys warmed up a little bit. I hope I didn't shock everybody too much with candy flying at them. It is delicious. The Kit Kats do taste better up in Canada. I think I'll go ahead and do everybody a favor and stop talking now. You're welcome. Thank you. You're far too kind. I love me too. Gotta go talk to a man about a hamburger. I'm starving.
So, who would like to go next?
Me. I'm known as the tough act to follow.
Okay, here. I'm going to have...
You're going to have the other blind person help you pick people.
Because it's comedy.
All right. How about you? I'm just going to walk up to you, and I hope to God you're raising your hand, okay? Okay.
What is your name? Dustin. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dustin!
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How's everybody?
Yes.
Has anyone done something pretty stupid while tired?
All the time.
Daily.
There was one summer 12 years ago, me and my family would go to France to see family. And we decided to do almost an all-nighter and a whole day of pretty much museum sightseeing. On the train there, I was so tired that I'm standing upright in my seat, and then all of a sudden, and I fell asleep with my eyes open. And my brother, for the next 20 minutes, tried to win. He couldn't. Then he said, "How are you doing this?" And I woke up like, "What? Ah! Ah, why does that hurt?" Because I just honestly forgot to close my eyes. Now on the way there, and museum, there are all these little buttons of these scenes and these exhibits and whatnot. So you press a button and it'll tell you what's going on. I did this all day. Tired, but all day. Boop, button, boop, button, boop, button, boop, button. Then it was time to go home. It was very late. We were all very tired, especially me. And then we went on the train home. This time I slept with my eyes closed. And then when we got off the train, I found another button. It was a red button. Oh. And all I did was, button, boop, and then klaxon. I'm like, ouch. I did something wrong this time. Oh no, I'm really going to get it. I'm really going to get it. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. So then, what happens is, in the Paris Metro Center, the subway, the RER train, this is pretty much the alarm button that I just pressed. And that's a no-no. And that immediately shuts down the whole system from across the whole city, shuts it down, and I didn't realize that. And me and my 12-year-old puppy, tired mentality or situation of, oh, I pressed the button, oh no, it says alarm. Why didn't I read this? Oh, I was tired. And I felt so bad. We were going up the stairs into the world. There were police cars, and then two guys behind a squad car is like looking around at people, and then he points at me, and then like the other guy's like, no. And then we were walking on by. I felt so bad. It's like, oh, I really screwed up. Why did I do that? Oh. And then my dad said, you know what, in times like this, a beer. It's time for a beer. So then he bought me a liter of beer, and that was really fun. But yeah, sometimes when you're tired, you do some really stupid stuff. I had done some stupid stuff, tired, and now, when I am tired, I always tend to read things very carefully now. And I avoid all red buttons. Always avoid the red button, or I can find you. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. So who would like to go next?
Alright, I'm going to try and do different parts of the room.
I will be.
Blue, dark blue shirt, yes, no?
They're on the scissors.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Scissors works.
Hi!
Hi!
What's your name?
Paper, beat, scissors?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fur!
Hi guys, my name's Fur. I have the most original name in the fandom.
Yay!
No, so I've been going to conventions for about 12 years now. It's very embarrassing. And who here's gone to Midwest Fur Fest? Woo! Yay! Who here went to Midwest Fur Fest when it was the weekend before Thanksgiving?
Yay!
Oh man, now I feel old. So MFF used to be the weekend before Thanksgiving, and I used to be a wedding and travel photographer. So I used to travel a whole lot, including over the Thanksgiving holiday. So it just so happened that I went to MFF, and then I was booked to fly back into O'Hare the Thursday after the convention. So I go to the con, I have a great time, and I leave and I check out of the hotel. I fly out of O'Hare, I fly back that next Thursday, and it's a long drive home, so I just book a night at the Westin at the O'Hare. So on the shuttle bus over, I decide I'm going to have a little bit of fun. So I reach in my backpack, I pull out my con badge for Midwest Fur Fest, I put out my furry con badge, and I put on my tail. This is the Thursday after the convention. I walk up to the hotel desk and I say, I'm so excited, I can't wait to meet all my friends. I've been saving up all year to go to this convention, and I've just been having so much fun already. I didn't see anyone yet, but I guess they're all just getting ready for the fun, because it's only the Thursday before the con. And I look at the girl, and she looks at me, and I look at the girl, and she looks back at me, and she looks at all my badges, and I look at her, and I'm just so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and there's no one here because it's Thanksgiving Day. And she just says, as quietly as possible, Sir, the furries were last weekend. And my face just drops. I'm like, no, it can't be. I've been planning this the entire year. I got the flight, I got the room, it's on Thursday, but I'm so sorry. And before I could tell her that I was joking, and I kind of dragged it on a little bit too far, if you haven't been to MFF in a few years, you probably don't remember Bruce. Bruce was that really, really tall guy who was 7'3", who sat behind all of the girls at the desk. Bruce very quickly came up to me and said, Sir, are we going to have a problem here? And I look at him, I'm like, no, I was just joking, I'm having a good time, I was just playing around a little bit. And he's like, Sir, we do not tolerate jokes about the furries here at the Westin Regency. Or the Hyatt Regency, whatever it was. And I look at him. I said, I'm sorry, sir. I will never joke about the furries again. And then when I came back from my next gig, the next following Thursday, I did the exact same thing. It was hilarious to me. Fun fact, that's how I got kicked out of the hotel. Thank you, guys. I'll do better next time.
No, take them anyway.
What's your name?
Sean. I'll try it. Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sean!
So I've done this open mic thing a few times, but this is the first time I've done it when I've had a job. So I actually have a story about work. I just recently got a job designing control systems for industrial machines, and that's kind of terrifying to walk into a factory where the machines are 20 feet high and you're in charge of running how they move without trying to kill anybody. And the very first machine I tested was a big project, several tons, several hundred horsepower engine, and I was designing the control system for this little joystick operated machine. And time came, it was built, my moment to shine. I turned the engine on, hoping to God nothing catches fire, because it's my first time since graduating from engineering school. And the engine starts. I'm like, okay, that's step one. We're good. Nothing caught on fire, nothing exploded. Now it's time for the joystick. Well, this is kind of fun, actually. And then I thought, I'm going to go over there. Whoa! This is what I didn't know. So I'm not on the mechanical team, except they have this 20-ton machine, several hundred horsepower engine, tank treads, the whole thing. no suspension. So you hit a bump, the whole thing goes boom. And I nearly cracked my head with that one. I'm like, okay, that's a minor crisis, we'll survive that. Then it came time to test the anti-barbed wire defense. And the thing is, this machine has a big rotating cutter on the front for cleaning up stumps and old fences and all that. When you're doing that, though, there's a lot of barbed wire there. And you want to keep the barbed wire out of the cutter. So the mechanical engineers figured out this fancy little system, got it in there on the cutter disc. So this should work. We don't know. So we take it out to the test site, and the test engineer says, hey, it's working pretty well. We're going to do the real test. And instead of being in the car, I think you'll get a better view outside, and I think it'll be safe. You stand over there. Everything should be fine. And I trusted him, because he worked for this company for a decade or so. He's run all of our machines before. He knows what he's doing. So we walk over there. A couple hundred feet away, we're watching the machine with the cutter on the front. And he turns on the machine and he spins up the cutter. And then he drops into a big thing of barbed wire, like a whole ball, like this big. And the barbed wire goes... like, oh, well the cutter hasn't stopped. That's good. Nothing has caught fire. That's good. Test can continue. And he starts going around, starting to cut tree stumps. And then I realized I was hearing a funny sound. A funny sound. I was hearing a second funny sound, which was the sound of little bits of barbed wire flying through the forest all around me. So, find a tree, get behind the tree, and if I stick out my stomach like this, I might get a little thinner if I'm lucky. And the worst part is, you're in a situation like that, and I want to tell them to stop the machine because we're in danger. But to do that, I have to step out into danger. So I just stand here for a while, terrified. And finally, he mercifully shuts the machine down, and we go over. And I tell him everything that had happened, and he said, oh, I'm so sorry, I thought that was a safe area. And let's leave this out a test report, okay? All right, that works for me. I won't tell anybody, just don't do it again, man. Thank you very much.
No, you want to switch it? Wait, first, what do we have to keep this? PG? PG-13? Open season?
Is there anybody under 18?
Well, we got one under 18.
There's someone under 18.
Okay.
One under 18.
PG-13 then.
PG-13, all right. Yeah, baby! Come on, everyone, get up! I want to feel some energy in here tonight, today, right now.
I got a small story and probably throw it. It's kind of funny, I guess.
What?
Oh, well, Thailand.
I guess this is AA meeting. Come on here now. I got a small story. He's on stage. Go tell me about your small story. Get up there. Come on. This is my room. So good.
Okay, so when I was around 12 years old, I was a pyromaniac, alright?
Did he touch you in any way?
No.
Oh.
No. This is PG, by the way. It's not adult, maybe, so in any sense. Anyway,
how much therapy cost?
I didn't do therapy, sir. But when I was 12 years old, my dad was sleeping, and it was in the middle of winter, and he had a fire going in the fireplace, and I've always wanted to see what those little CO2 cylinders things would do. You know?
So you like Marty McFly and Brenda Brother?
No.
Did your dad go easy on you?
No, we did.
All right, I wanted to. George McFly did a good
I
job.
wrapped it in tinfoil to make it look like a candy bar, and then I threw it in the fireplace when my dad was asleep. You know, I read the little warning label and so what I did was I ran into my room, shut the door, and I had my ears plugged behind my bed, like this, just waiting for it. And like 5 minutes later, there's this resounding kabang.
Kabang!
And all I know is I hear my dad say, "What did you do?" And I open the door, and you can't can't see anything. Like it's like a hazy fog.
Yeah, it's like the Grinch stole Christmas.
The Grinch. Yeah. I'm trying to. Yeah. I guess it was like that.
It was just like that.
It cracked the fireplace in two. And so after that, like it's like my dad did never treated me the same again after that. So anyway, that's my story, I guess. Just throw that out there.
And then you walking around with a rainbow flag, your dad treated you the same.
That's another story. And not exactly. I got thrown out 2 times.
Thanks for bringing up the personal level.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Everyone, yes, my man. Let it out. Hi, I'm Al Ross, an alcoholic. So yeah, fire. That's something. But anyway, everyone, look alive right now, because right now, you are those people that fear me. Fear me. I'm scared of. I fear you. Because you look all quiet and nice, and then next thing y'all shooting up at McDonald's, all right? Can we all lighten up a bit? Just sitting on normal. Got the pickles. Lighten up! I was like, come on, we're at a convention, have some fun. Are we all drinking?
Not yet.
We'll start!
Alright, now.
Really, it doesn't show it, like, because you look like you just shot my dog. I lighten up. Alright, because when I drink, I do something crazy, stupid. I have a little fun. Yeah, one time I got drunk, I ended up in Canada. Funny thing, and it just so happened to be the theme. And I'm not making this story up. I was out one day with my friends. I was 18 at the time. Just graduated high school. I didn't know better. So we sat there and had some drinks. And we did some other recreational things, right, kids? We don't do. Just say no. Look at you, high. You already got something in your room right now. So anyway, we got drunk and everything. Woke up in a boat. I was like, wow, what happened? They look at me and they're like, we stole a boat. I'm like, whose idea was it? My idea. I stole this boat, turn around. Remember, 18, had to go check it out back at home. Then called my parents. So we made it there the next day, in the morning, about 5:30. You see the sun rising. My old man is getting from work. Now, my young man, your mom's not in the room right now, so I'll tell you this. If you're going to get away with anything, go home act crazy. Whatever you do, grab the belt, start hitting yourself, do anything that you will jail out a free card. Me, on the other hand, I just took out my pants, pulled my boxers down. The door was open. I kicked that door right open. I was like, the champ is home. Mama looked at me, she's like, get your ass to your room. I'm like, all right. I don't pick up my pants or anything. I'm like, shit. Grounded for 2 weeks, no questions. That is because we all need to have some fun this weekend, all right? Come on, get up. I know people. See, woo! We're all gonna shut off the lights. We're all gonna shut off the lights, go naked, run around in here. Okay, who's in my pocket? All right, you get to lead them. I have no censor. That's why I try to be nice. I'm a bad boy. But I come in, I do stand for a living. I actually tour around everything. And I always come in, check out, look for new talent who wants to join. Y'all some great people. Let's have some fun. You're on vacation. Have a one night stand you're going to regret. If I start to look good, you had too much to drink. I like people. All right, so that's all I got. We're going to just have some fun. I'm on vacation, so yay. Oh, no, that was about that guy just forgot. I would have had a whole, 5 minutes lined up. That guy's just ruined what I was going to say. So, I was not going to spend 5 minutes bashing him. Yeah, so I was like, no. Thanks, brother. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
All right, who wants to come up next? I almost probably would need someone to say, hey, I'm over here.
Hey.
Okay.
This person over here would like a turn.
Okay, I think there's someone in green.
You can let him go first.
Okay.
You sure? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. No vision kind of sucks. a bunch of stick figures.
Flip Electric. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Flip Electric.
Must have made a metric this year. I'm used to Imperial. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Flip Electric. My parents luckily have never divorced because neither wanted custody of me. The theme for this year, of course, Canada came up with some of the greatest ideas that I'm sure we could all agree with. First off, universal healthcare, yeah, because let's face it, you base your diet off of French fries topped with cheese curds and gravy, you're going to need all the help you can get. You have hockey, which is what I consider the second most dangerous contact sport in the world. Only second to Alkali jumped in front of him in the open bar. And some of the greatest music that could come out of any country, and some of the not so great. Well, a lot of the not so great. Two of those not so great get married to each other, and they're going to have a kid that's not so great. I'm sorry, why do we like Canada again? Shouldn't we just have a war against it or something? Not necessarily like a big, let's just take over the entire country, just a fun war, you know, get some Nerf darts and then somebody, you know, loses an eye and then we have to have a whole lawsuit thing over that and, you know, all's good, all's good. I would like to start off the point to saying Canada is not the best country in the world when you can literally buy alcohol at any Burger King within Germany. Japan has some of the greatest technology that we can ignore each other with. And the United States for being the most entertaining country in the world, whether or not we actually are trying to be. The political state, I will not put too much effort into saying. All I will say about it is I'm surprised that more news broadcasts don't show up on E! Thank you very much.
All right, there was someone else. Go ahead. Someone's coming, I think.
I was going to say it. Yes. What's your name?
Dorian.
Dorian. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dorian. Woo!
No, it was turned off. That's why. Because I was going to say, where's the spot? I think.
I'll turn it off for me, I see.
Hello? It's working now? Oh.
You have it on.
Ah, there we go. I'm Dorian, and a couple days ago I was watching TV, and I was watching the religious channel. Not because I was interested in it, but because I was looking at the guy on there, and I was trying to decide if that was his real hair, a toupee, or an alien parasite sucking the IQ out of him. And while I'm watching this, I realize he's going on about how there's gender is binary and there's only one acceptable sexuality. And then I had an epiphany, or maybe a stroke. It's kind of hard to tell, but I thought, wait a minute, he's right. Because we all have an answer to what gender we are, but nobody knows the question. And the question is really simple. This person here, I want to know what gender they are. Why? This person gives me a jolly feeling in my happy place. I want to shag them. The actual question is, will they shag me? That's the question of gender. And the answer is yes or no. So it's binary. You don't get more binary than that. And as for an acceptable sexuality, two no's, put them in a room together naked, they're just going to stand around awkward and confused. So no sex is going to happen. That's not a sexuality. If you put a yes and a no together, that ends in tears and up to 15 years in prison. We call that rape. So the only acceptable sexuality is 2 yeses, or 3, 4, 9. But that makes all of us that are having sex fabulously gay. Thank you.
Anybody else like to go up? Yes? No? You want
Is it?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's everything go. I can go after
I
Sarah.
was going to say you're here.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'll go after you.
Hello. Can you hear me? Well, yeah. I'm Seraphin, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break Citrine's rule. So, did anyone hear about the orchestra that died? They got struck by lightning. Turns out their leader was a very good conductor. So, as a writer, I tend to try and keep track of trends and things, see what's popular, what's not. Not because I follow them, but just because I'm interested. And you learn a lot of stuff from it. Like Harry Potter, that was a big time for wizards and stuff. You have the whole zombie era. With Twilight, it turns out you're better to be lucky than good. And with 50 Shades of Grey, it told me that life just sometimes isn't fair. One of the big things that I liked about the recent trend was that we're getting into sci-fi. Netflix had that Altered Carbon, and we had Star Wars, and I enjoy sci-fi. However, I always think that they get it wrong when it comes to like the setting where people are walking around. Because to me, any sci-fi futuristic setting that isn't at least 60% furry is bullshit. You can't tell me that in the future, when you can be anything, and you can just grow a tail, someone's not, like, even a normal person's not going to look at that and be like, maybe. I wonder if that's fashionable. It'll be a whole trend. It'll be like, oh, did you get the 2050 leopard ears today? Oh, look at her. She's got the scaredy tail. That was so last year. It'd be a fashion trend. You wouldn't care. There wouldn't be furries anymore. There'd just be modifications. It'd be awesome. I feel that's very underutilized in the sci-fi universe. I'm going to make my own sci-fi universe. It's just going to be furries everywhere. Why? Because it's my universe. That's why. So, for everyone out there, you probably got here by driving, am I right? Cheer if you drove. Yeah, that's about as excited as I am whenever I drive. I hate driving. It is the worst. And I live in Wisconsin, where our national tree is the big orange cone. See, that's the only guy that actually does any work, because I'll go by the same road year after year. They'll still be working on it. But the one guy who does his job is the guy who puts out those orange cones. He is awesome at that. He is the best. I'll be driving along, just kind of minding my own business. Like, holy shit, construction zone, what the hell? How did this happen? And then I'll just see the guy like, and then he's just putting down all the orange cones. You know who doesn't do their job? The guy that takes off the orange cones once they're done. I'll drive along 10 miles of completely finished road, and there are still those orange cones. What we need to do is fire that guy and get the guy who puts them down to take them up. That way, I don't have to deal with this and rage at the person in front of me going 50 in a 65 because they're afraid they're going to get taken. One of the worst places that I hate driving, though, is Chicago. And I always have to go through Chicago, go anywhere, because I live in Wisconsin. One time I was in bumper-to-bumper traffic in Chicago, and we were passing by a police car on the side of the road. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing there, cop? You ain't catching anyone speeding on this road. Then I realized That's why there's so much crime in Chicago. It literally probably takes the police 2 hours to get anywhere in Chicago. They're just sitting there like, car 145, we got a incident down about 2 blocks away from you. All right, I have to get on the freeway, so that'll be about an hour and a half. Like, yep, you'll be the first responder. I hate traffic. Traffic makes my blood boil, man. I hate it. And then I always have my wife in the car usually with me. And that's not good because I tend to rage irrationally at traffic. I know I rage. I'm fine with that. I've made peace with that. When I'm alone, it's fine. When I'm with someone, it's crazy. And of course, she won't help because she always says the same thing to me. She'll turn and she'll say, hey, maybe you should relax. And if you know anything about irrational anger, is if you tell someone to relax, they're going to do the opposite. And as a bonus, now that irrational anger isn't on the traffic, it's on you. Because you are the new target and you're way closer than them. She does the same to me when I play first-person shooters because I occasionally like pretending to be a stormtrooper and being very accurate in my portrayal of them. And I'll get mad at him. I'll get angry. Be like, oh, that guy killed me like 15 times. I hate that guy. That guy's the worst. Just irrational rage. And my wife will be there and be like, hey, maybe you should take a break. And I just slowly turn. I go, I don't want to take a break. This is how I relax. I'm Seraphim. Thank you very much.
Alright guys, Citrine had to leave for a minute. I'm just not going to use this. So who'd like to come up next? Anybody? I'll go. Alright, thank you. Calypso. Everybody say hello to Calypso.
Woo! Woo! As I slowly approach the stage. I just had oral surgery. I don't know what happened to my legs. Okay, am I on? Okay, I think I'm on now. Sweet. How are you guys doing tonight? Woo! Woo! You guys are excited. I like you. Anyway, yeah, I was just glad to come up to IFC, get away from good old Lexington, Kentucky, the hellhole of America. I work as a graphic designer, for those of you that don't know me, which is, I think, all of you. My morning routine, I get up and I have a good old stable 8 to 5 job. But I have to get up at 6:45 in the morning. I have to allot time to drive 30 minutes across town. Sometimes I bathe in the mornings. But if I bathe the night before, that extra 30 minutes is spent falling asleep on the toilet. I'm 26. Is this what my life has come to? I have to put 30 minutes in my day in the morning to fall asleep on the toilet. Oh, God. So I get up and I go to my job as a graphic designer where I sit in front of the computer all day long and watch YouTube videos because I don't have anything better to do at this point. I got some pretty cool coworkers, that's probably the only thing I like about my job is my coworkers because we all jive really well and we like to make jokes about each other. And a standing joke at the office is the size of my head. I have an abnormally small head in proportion to my body. I can wear a kid-sized hat and pull it off. It's pretty bad when your head is the size of just one of your fucking ass cheeks. Oh my gosh. The other running joke at the office is that I'm a tool. And not a literal tool that you all are thinking about. I am a tool with these. While I also have an abnormally small head, I have abnormally small hands. And where I work in a print production center, we have these big machines, sometimes paper gets caught. Guess who gets to be the fishing rod. I get to go and put my hand inside the machine, twist around a little bit. This is something nobody else can do. And be the hero and save the day and pull that little tiny shred of paper out of a roller. That's my life. Ugh. That's all I got for you.
Could have been a little more enthusiastic there, but I just kind of went off the fly.
That was good. See if you can get Sari.
Okay. I'll go attempt to find Artist Alley.
See, okay, Artist Alley, Artist Alley, when you go out into the atrium, like right before you're going to go down to the lobby, it's the very first room right there.
Right here. Oh, yeah. If anybody else would like to go up, just walk up to him and he will know you were there. If not, I will find somebody.
If not,
I'll go with Griffin.
all right. Awesome. I was going to say you can just turn it on. It should be good. Yeah.
All right. Ooh, spooky. Spooky's my favorite word, guys. If you ever just want to make me smile, just come up to, dude, that was fucking spooky, right? Isn't that fun? Like, oh my god, dude, I once was with someone, and we were walking down the street, and we saw someone getting mugged, and he goes, Jesus Christ, man, that was fucking spooky. And I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't describe a mugging as fucking spooky, but now I'm going to. Because it is. It's fucking spooky. You're just walking down the street, just hanging out, having your day, and then someone jumps you, and it's like, holy shit, it's a boogin. It's not a boogin, it's someone desperate and sad, but it's also a fucking boogin. And then it's fucking spooky. It's scary. Oh yeah, I should introduce myself. Anyway, hi, I'm Chris, the Comedy Bunny. It's nice to meet all of you guys. I don't usually like using mics because they look like robot penises, and I don't like that shit. But I will if you guys want me to. Can anyone hear me without this? Okay, cool. Then fuck that. So, I have one story to tell you guys, and it was a time that I got way too high with my friend. My friend and I were hanging out in my basement, sitting down, having fun. He brought a guitar, and he's like, yeah, dude, we're going to jam out. It'll be real fun. It'll be super cool. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds really cool. Let's do that. So he proceeds, we roll the weed, we start smoking. We're like, oh, dude, total jam session is going to happen. And then we're just sitting there. Oh, shit, you got to play the guitar. We're doing the jam? Yeah. Okay, hang on. Okay, shit, I can't play a guitar. And I'm like, yeah, let me do this. I can't either. And I was like, I can though. So I take it, and I start hitting it. And I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck guitars being an acoustic instrument where you can play this guitar. It just becomes a little drum. You start drumming, And I start drumming, and I'm having fun. My buddy's like sitting there rapping about random shit. It's a good time. And then you just hear from upstairs, because I lived in my mother's basement, and it's sad. Hey! Cut that shit out! I swear to God, I will come down there and go Kent State on that hippie drum circle. It's 2 in the morning! And I'm like, oh shit! It's right, it's 2 in the morning. Okay. I'm like, alright, we need something else. We need something else to do. Something that isn't going to get me in trouble with my mommy. And so I'm like, I got it. Go over to the, my shelf of DVDs. My buddy picks out a random anime called Ghost Stories. Has a weird dub. There's a lot of history behind it. I won't get into that. Point is, he picks out that. He's like, you want to watch this? I'm like, oh yeah, that'll be great. So we start watching it. Now, the premise of the show that we're watching is basically a bunch of kids solving fucking spooky murders. And you're like, oh my god, that's perfect, right? And it's kind of like Scooby-Doo meets some generic-ass anime. But in particular, the episode we were watching was about a haunted piano that kills people. And it's weird. And you're like, okay, cool. But you buy into the premise. And the main girl's all like, we gotta solve this mystery, guys. We gotta make sure that we stop this piano from killing people. And then one of the kids is like, we need to stop it now because it's threatening one of my kids, or it's threatening one of my friends, and I can't handle this. And they go running off, and they get into this huge fight, and it's the second act argument. So the main girl gets a call on the phone
and it's the piano who called her. I don't know how it happened, but over the phone you hear the answer, and she's like, yeah, I'll meet you in the park. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll go ahead and I'll meet you in the park. And so hangs up, and then she runs off to the park, and she's standing there in the park, and she's all like, where are you? Where are you? She's looking for a friend. She's concerned. And then she sits there screaming, running around like, I don't know what to do. She's distraught. And then in the bushes, we do a hard cut to inside the bushes, and we see a POV shot. And my buddy's like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, he's fucking really into this. Okay. He's like, oh shit. Oh shit. And I was like, yeah, man, this is fucking real. And then go back to her crying. And then as you see behind her, sneaking up, and as it flies out of the bushes, it's a piano, and it chases her and sends her down the stairs, and she's falling, and she's falling. And my buddy, who's so involved in this, jumps and goes, oh shit, bitch, you just got hoodwinked. That shit's a baby grand. And I'm like, holy shit. That is the most accurate description of what just happened. Because that bitch did get hoodwinked, and that shit was a baby grand piano. And then my mom comes running out like, that's it, I told you I was going Kent State. And I was like, oh shit, so we got kicked out of my mom's house. But we had fun in the process. That's my time. Thank you very much.
That was spooky.
It's fucking spooky, right?
Alright, we have somebody that was guarding the artist alley.
Oh, gosh.
And yes, you.
Alright.
So we're going to have him come up.
Stop looking at me like that.
I'll try. It's my lazy eye.
Everybody hear me alright? Good. Yeah. So, I'm Propzilla. I just came from work. Not really the normal attire, but I got a story from work for you. So, I rebuild trains for a living. And what do you do to quickly rebuild trains? Well, you go to the Home Depot. That's where you buy all your parts. So we are actually repainting this thing. So what do? We're getting spray paint. Lots of it. We bought Home Depot out of blue spray paint. And when you go to check out with 40 cans of blue spray paint, and you look like this, but with like more tatters than this hat, the cashier usually comes up to you and asks you a couple of questions. The first one being, really? Really? It's like, yeah, no, we're spraying, or how my boss put it was, oh yeah, we're spray painting trains. And there's this long pause, and really? Yeah, because when you see a train go by, there's all the graffiti. That's what everybody first thinks. So we're like, no, we work on trains. So then we made mistake number 2. We went to the bar between going back to work. Now you don't drink and spray paint. That's called mixing. But it was a long day yesterday. So we go to the bar and then we stop at a gas station. I'm sitting in the car. My boss gets out, goes, gets a Monster, comes back. And as he comes back, there's an officer looking in the back of his car, and I'm in the passenger seat like half passed out. So there's 45 cans of spray paint and a guy in the front like this. What do you think he's thinking? So my boss, in typical fat boss fashion, walks up, hello officer, how can I help you? And he goes, what are those for, son? And my boss, without skipping a beat, looks almost the same as me, but is a foot taller. We both look like we're in college. He goes, we're about to go paint some trains, man. Long delay, officer knocks on my door. Sir, what are you guys doing? We're going to go spray paint some trains here, and spray paint a train. No, not that. And of course, at this point, here comes the second car with his supervisor. And what does the supervisor do? The first thing he asks when he gets out of the car, So what are you boys doing? And there's that long pause, look him right in the eyes and went, is getting high the wrong answer? So my boss is getting put in the back of the cruiser, and then they go to pull the paint out of the car for evidence. I'm not even kidding. They were pulling bags of spray paint, and under that, Cincinnati Railway Company, all of our documentation for doing this project. And the supervisor looks at the other officer and goes, did you even ask if they work on trains? And he goes, no, they're kids, man, they're kids. They're kids, they just do this. And I'm like, yeah, he's not wrong, they do. That's why we're painting this. So we get put back in our car and apologized to, which it happens. Trust me, this is not the first time we've been arrested doing our jobs. Go to the site, 5 minutes go by, and no joke, somebody calls the police on us because we're out there on this train spray painting lines just everywhere. And we're getting into it because we've had a little bit to drink. Good thing we didn't get buzz tested because that would have gone bad. We're just spray painting, making lines, just getting that first coat on. And the cops get called on us. And guess who shows up? Deputy Dumbass. And he pulls up, turns his lights off, and just on the bullhorn, hey kids, you got called again. Don't do that. And we turned around and went, we're getting high next, officer! Woo! And that's that. I made it, though. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
I gotta go back to work.
I was expecting a story about Daet. Come on now, you're letting me down.
That's your amateur hour.
Okay.
Okay, do we have anybody else that wants to go up? We have exactly 3 minutes left until 2 p.m. when this panel finishes.
I'll go.
All right. We'll have you finish it off for us.
Okay.
My name is Daet. I'm a manager at a pizza company, and occasionally we get calls where people just go, they just sit talking and explain what type of size or crust they want. It's like okay, I'd like a cheese pizza. Okay, what crust? And then they get completely confused. It's like we explain them 3 times. Like we have a hand tossed or a thin crust. We have to explain what each one is. Or sometimes people order online, and when they come and pick it up, they say they got the wrong size when they did it themselves. Like one time someone came in, they said they ordered the regular size, which they were apparently referring to a medium when they ordered a small. It's like, we don't have a regular size. That's not even on the site. Like, when they've done this, one time there was a call of someone complaining, saying that they didn't get enough roast beef on their Philly sandwich. And they were getting more and more pissy each time I was trying to correct them on what it was. I kept saying the thing 10 times that it was not roast beef on the Philly, that it was Philly steak. And by the end of it, they were yelling and cursing completely at me, saying that they're not going to order anymore. Okay. They hung up, called back again, complained, saying we hacked their account, which we have no access to even do that, because they ordered one thing, yet it was half one thing, half something else. That's what they ordered online, and we can't change the order without them calling one to change it. And they were getting pissy, okay, you're not going to order from us, so why are you calling again the bitch? That's all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 o'clock on the dot. So this has been Open Mic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you all had fun coming up on stage. Remember, it's just Friday. It's just past 2 o'clock, so we still have the whole weekend to go out and enjoy the rest of your con.
Silver Silver Gatoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gatoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gatoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.